Hi team, in this video we will see how you can implement post HTTP method of your OData API by redefining createEntity method of DPC extension class. Okay, so let's get started. We have same question when to use createEntity. Okay, so whenever you want to insert a record to the database, you will go for createEntity. Okay, if you can see, I have highlighted format equal to JSON in red color in URL. Okay, so the reason to highlight in red is if you use this URI option with createEntity, you will get an error. Okay, so now you will ask how I can get response in JSON, because JSON is what everybody asks for. Okay, JSON is the most widely used data format. Okay, so to get the response in JSON, you need to add this inside your header of your HTTP request. Okay, accept equal to application/JSON. Okay, so this is for response and this is for your request. Okay, because we are passing our data in both ways. Okay, we are also passing request and response. Okay, so now you will ask me how I can get this JSON. Okay, do I manually need to write this? So answer is no. You can copy the structure from the response of get entity. Okay, okay, you just need to modify the values of these fields, and whatever you need to insert to the database, you just need to modify that. Okay, we will see when we will move to SAP, we can see that. Okay, and if we talk about HTTP method, so to trigger our create entity, we need to use post HTTP method. Okay, and if we talk about IO, we have one object IO underscore data underscore provider. Okay, and it has one method read underscore entry underscore data. Okay, this method will help you to get a work area which will have whatever you pass inside the input. Okay, okay, because at a time we can only insert one record to the database. Okay, so we have a work area, and for output we have one optional response structure which can be passed inside er underscore entity. Okay, to show what has been updated. It is optional, but as per best practice and OData standard, you should pass something inside that. Okay, if you don't pass anything, you will get blanks in your response. Okay, so this information is enough. We can now go to SAP and we can implement. Okay, so now we will go to SEGW and we will use the same project which we are using throughout the series. This is our project, and till now we have implemented get entity and get entity set. Okay, if you don't know about that, you can watch the previous videos. Okay, so now to implement create entity, we will go to runtime artifacts. Okay, we will right click to DPC extension. Okay, here if I can expand, you can see DPC extension, and we can go to ABAP workbench. Okay, here I will scroll down to find the create entity. Okay, here is the create entity. I will click edit and I will click on redefine method. Okay, okay, now we are inside the method. I will delete these comments and I will activate this. Okay, as usual, I will put one external breakpoint to see how we are getting input and output. Okay, okay, now I will go back. I will go to SAP gateway client. Yes. Okay, so we will select our entity set from here. What is our entity set? Scar set. Okay, so we will first use get to see what entries are available. It will trigger our get entity set method. We will get all the records. Okay, so suppose I copy this key, DL is our key. Okay, and I use it with get entity method. Okay, to use it we can give like this and we can execute. Now we will get only one entry. Okay, I can copy this response and use it as request. Okay, So now I can execute this. If I execute without the body, sorry, I forgot to choose the post. If I give empty body, I will get an error with post. Okay, I will show you. Okay, we need to remove this from our URL. And if I give the empty body, I will get an error. See, I am getting one error. But if I pass the body which we have copied and execute this, we will trigger our breakpoint. Okay, so here if I go to locals, I have one ER entity. Okay, so as we have discussed, whatever we pass here, we can get that in our response. Okay, so I will enter anything, and again I will go to desktop 3 and locals. Okay, so for input we will use this object IO underscore data provider, but we need to call one method, so we cannot see the input at runtime. Okay, we need to call that method first. Okay, so we will go to desktop 3 and we will execute this. We will see we are getting whatever we have updated inside ER entity in response or not. Okay, so we are executing this. Here we can see that whatever we have passed, we are getting inside our response. Okay, so now we can implement. I will go to service implementation, our entity set, scar set, and I will right click on create because we want to implement create entity. Okay, now click on go to ABAP workbench. So now we are inside our method where we will write our implementation. Okay, so first we will observe the signature of this method. We have ER entity as discussed. Whatever we will pass here, we will get in our response. To get the request body or request parameter, we will use this object IO underscore data underscore provider. Okay, and it has one method read underscore entry data. Okay, it will return one work area which has name es underscore data and type equal to any. Okay, we will try to call this method and we will see if we are getting the correct request inside the work area or not. Okay, so first I will copy this name, copy the name of the class, go back, and I will minimize this signature. Okay, zoom in little bit, click on edit, go here, click on pattern, click on ABAP object patterns, click continue, and what is our instance? The name of the instance is IO underscore data underscore provider. Okay, IO underscore data underscore provider, name of the class. This is the name of the class, and if we can press F4, we will get that method because there was only one method. Okay, read underscore entry underscore data, and now we can click on continue. Okay, so this is the method and we can uncomment this. Okay, so we will use one work area to get this value es underscore data. Okay, and it have the same type like er underscore entity. Okay, so now I will use this here, and let's check if we are getting the request inside it or not. Okay, so we will activate this. We are not getting any error. We will place a breakpoint here and we will again execute this. Okay, I will press F5 and check what we are getting inside this. I will write here. I can press F7. Okay, I can go here and I can see what we are getting. So we are getting delta USD, whatever we have passed inside the request, we are getting in this work area. Okay, so now we will go for the further implementation. We will use one another work area which will have the same type like our database. Okay, work area underscore scar, type scar. Okay, we will use this work area to insert into our database table. Okay, so we will first use move corresponding work area underscore request. Okay, to work area underscore scar. Okay, now this work area should have whatever we had inside this. Okay, so now we will use insert what is the table? Scar table. Okay, and we will use from work area underscore scar. Okay, and it should work. Okay, we will click on activate. We will remove the breakpoint from here and we will execute directly. Okay, so I have executed this and it is saying 201, but I will show you one thing. Okay, and I will execute this. I will zoom in a little bit and let's check if we are getting anything in our work area or not. So yes, we are getting DL Delta Airlines. Okay, and if I press F5 here, observe the size sub-RC. Okay, currently it is 0, F5 it is 4, so our insert statement is failed. Okay, but we are getting 201. Okay, and it is saying created. Okay, so for this reason I was telling you that it is a best practice to pass here, so we will know what has been updated to the database. Okay, but if you don't pass, you will not understand if it is successful or it is an error. Okay, and what other thing we can do is we can handle this status code, but it is a topic for another video. We will see in some future videos. Okay, so I will go here and I will write one more statement. If size sub RC equal to 0, then what we will do, move corresponding WA scar to ER entity. Okay, so if the operation is successful, we will get values inside ER entity. If not, we will get blank. Okay, now I will click pretty printer. I will activate again. Let's check if it is working as expectation or not. So I will try this, execute. So okay, we are getting size sub RC4, so this if statement will be failed. Okay, so the reason of getting size sub RC4 is because we are using the same key. Okay, we are using DL. Okay, if we change this to something like S1, okay, I will execute this and I will press F6, 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 F5. So now I am getting size sub RC0, and if I execute this, I will get the same thing in my response also. So I will be sure that this things is updated to the database or inserted to the database. Okay, so now we can check in our get entity set method that this is updated or not. Okay, so now I have modified this radio button and I will execute this. Okay, so here I will check the S1. Okay, I will search for S1. Okay, so this is my record what we have entered now. Okay, so the thing is now that we need to check how we can get the response in JSON. Okay, so to get the response in JSON, what we can do, we can add header. Okay, we can choose this button, add header from value help. Okay, So now we can click on here, accept application JSON. Okay. Now again, we will go for one more post call. Okay. For that, we will use get, and we will use the same what we have inserted now, S1. Okay. So we are getting this, and we can use same as request. You just see here, application slash atem plus XML. Okay. So I will use as request. I will click on use as request. Okay. So you can see that this content type is automatically modified as per whatever you insert here. It is modifying based on that. Okay. Or if you click here, it is modifying based on that. Okay. So you can observe this behavior. So we only need to focus on accept. Okay. If you are calling from gateway client, you only need to focus on this header. Okay. So now I will use some another thing like S2. I will write Shivam here. I will write SAP here, and I will use sws.com. Okay. Let's try to execute this. So we are getting the response in. We are not getting the response because we have used get. Okay. So we will use this again as request. We will go to post and we will modify the URL. Okay. Now I will again change this to S2, and we can write here what we can write, Shivam airline. And that's it. That is enough. You click on execute. So we are getting the same inside the response also. So it is in JSON. Okay. So that's why you need to know about this accept header. Okay. And you can use this button to see the value help. Okay. What you can enter here, different things you can try. Okay. Okay. I hope you like this video. We will meet in the next video.